Jersey. Today is Thursday, April 26th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to do a quick audio and video check. So if you could, please raise your hand in the chat window just to confirm that you can see and hear me. Oh, great. Thank you guys so much. I can see that everybody's raising their hand. Perfect. Thank you so much for that. So it is my great pleasure to introduce to you Justin Glover, who's going to be speaking to us today about email marketing and how building the relationship with your list is really important. When Justin is finished the webinar, I'll be available to field a few brief questions afterward. And again, if you're on this call, you're positioned as a silver and gold or above. So congratulations on taking action and getting your business started. Because you've positioned yourself, you're also entitled to additional traffic coaching sessions as well after. So without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to Justin.
Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Justin Glover and I would like to welcome you to this presentation. Today's topic is email marketing and I'm going to be showing you how to build a relationship with your list. All right. Now, before I get into the content for today, I want to briefly give you some context about myself, tell you who I am for those of you that do not know me. If this is your first webinar and you are new and you're not sure who I am, this is for you. I'd also encourage you to go back to Monday's webinar. Every Monday, I do a webinar called Getting Your Mobe Business Off to a Fast Start. And at the beginning of that webinar, I go a little bit more in depth about my story and how I met Matt and all of that, how I got started in business and why I'm here, basically. But really briefly, for those of you that are new to me and new to these webinars, my name is Justin Glover. I create a lot of the content and the curriculum and the trainings that that all of the consultants in Mobe go through once they get positioned as a consultant. So if you're here, this is part of that training. This is sort of supplemental for that, and it's also your chance, my chance to deliver some additional value to you guys, and also your chance to ask some questions. So that's a little bit about who I am. I met Matt back in 2009 or 10. I started my first business in 08, online business that is. And I met Matt. We ran in some of the same circles, promoted some of the same affiliate programs, and ended up winning ourselves a spot into the same $25,000 weekend mastermind. So that's where we hung out for the first time and became pretty good buddies. And over the years, I've watched what he's done with Mobe while I've been building my own businesses on the side outside of Mobe. And I finally reached out to him in mid-2016 and said, look, I want to be a part of what you're doing, because quite frankly, I've watched a lot of companies grow, and I've seen a lot of stuff in this industry. And in terms of strategic innovation and growth and just drive and focus, Matt and Mobe are right there at the top. So I want to be a part of it. I wanted to be a part, so I reached out in mid-2016. And then beginning of 17, Matt asked me if I'd start doing some traffic coaching and just take over the traffic division and put together some more tools and resources so that all of us could benefit and go out and have more success in our Mobe business. I myself am also a diamond consultant in Mobe. So what I would like to know, now that you know a little bit about me and why I'm here, is who are you and why are you here? I ask this at the beginning of every one of these trainings that I do. I want to know, why are you here? Number one, where are you positioned? So just type that in the chat box. Let me know. Are you a silver? Are you gold? Are you, well, silver is gold. Are you titanium, platinum, diamond? Where are you positioned within Mobe? Because if you're here listening to my voice, then you are positioned at one of those levels. And then the second thing I'd like to know is, why are you here? Why did you start your Mobe business? Why did you make the decision that says, you know what? Mobe is for me. Mobe is the solution that I'm looking for to solve this problem. Whatever. Why was it that caused you to join? So tell me why you're here. That way I can get to know you guys better. I do go back after every webinar and I read all of these comments and get your feedback and all of that. So type it into the chat box. Let me know who you are and why you are here. And with that being said, we're going to dive into the training for today. So now you've got people on your list. If you attended yesterday's webinar, I talked about the process of this hybrid marketing strategy and driving traffic to your funnel and getting people on your list. That was part of that. Now, I want to talk about what to do now that you've actually got people on your list. Well, we know, we've talked about this before, that the goal of any business is to get profitable as soon as possible. And the goal of your email list is really to cultivate a relationship with that list. And that's what this webinar is all about, all right? Online buyers, they're usually skeptical at first, all right? People only buy whenever, this whole buying things on the internet is still, it's kind of a new concept in the grand scheme of things. We haven't been doing it for that long. As a matter of fact, those of you that are marketing on the internet and actually doing this, if you think about it, it's kind of cool. We're the first generation of internet marketers. And so we're really setting the trends. We're really doing this and learning all of this stuff together. So the list that you're going to be building is more than a list. It's a database of people, and that's really where the money is. Because in the beginning, oftentimes online buyers, people that are buying stuff, they're skeptical at first, and people really buy things. They only buy things. If you look at your buying habits, you'll find this is true. If you look at anybody else's buying habits, you'll find this is true. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So what we need to do as consultants, as marketers, we need to start building a relationship with people on our list. So we build the list, then we build the relationship with those people on that list. And the combination of doing that will actually give us that goal of having a list of people who know, like, and trust us, therefore a list of people who buy from us. That's what we're all after here. That's what we're working towards. And that's how likely, so what I'd like to ask is, how likely are you to buy something on Facebook from someone that you don't know anything about? Even if the product sounds interesting, maybe you're scrolling down your Facebook feed and you see this interesting product, and if it's not recommended, if it's just recommended by somebody you've never heard of, or a brand you've never heard of or not familiar with, and you watch the video and you say, this is a pretty interesting product, that would be cool. And then you just keep on scrolling with in mind, oh, that's an interesting product, but it wasn't recommended by somebody that you actually know, so you didn't give it much thought after that. But then there's other products, there's other videos that you see, and they have a really cool product, and maybe even the product isn't as cool, but because it's being shared or you're being introduced to it by someone that you already have a relationship with, by someone that you know, like, and trust, it has more weight. It holds more value for you, and so you're more likely to check out this product, and oftentimes more likely to end up buying. If you really start paying attention to your buying habits yourself, I think that's one of the most eye-opening things that we can do as marketers, is just see, pay attention. How do we buy? What causes us to buy? What are the emails that we read that cause us to open and click and then go take action? Pay attention to that kind of stuff, and by doing so, that is one of the best educations that you can get. And you go out and you model what works. All right, you model success. You guys have heard Matt and many others speak about this many times. So that's what we're doing here. So again, I'd like to say, how likely are you to buy something on Facebook from that recommendation of one of your Facebook friends? So really think about that and compare the two. And I think what you'll find out is that, we are absolutely, without a doubt, more likely to buy from people that we know, like, and trust. So that's our goal here. All right, same concept of list building. It's an extension of your friends. A list it's a group of people who are interested in what you have to offer. Very simply, that's what it is. And it can become your biggest asset if you treat that list right. All right, I tell people whenever we get to this part in our coaching calls, when we're doing traffic coaching, I tell them, when you invest in your autoresponder, that little $19 a month fee or whatever it is that you're paying for your autoresponder, that is one of the best investments that you're going to make, because that's what's going to hold your list. That's what's going to house your email list, and your email list is going to be the source, the greatest source, one of the greatest sources of your income long term. All right, because as you start building that email list, and as you start developing that relationship with that email list, and really putting out consistent value and content to those people on that list, and they start knowing you a little bit better, and they start liking you a little bit more, and they start trusting you at a little bit deeper level, as you start doing these things, then you're going to be creating, what you're essentially doing there is creating one of the biggest assets for yourself in your business, and that is your email list. And your email list, for lack of better analogy, and just to help you understand this, will kind of serve, it's almost, it can be like an ATM machine. You decide you want to make some money and bring some money into your life or business, so you type up an email, you send an email to your list, you recommend a product in that email. A bunch of your list open the email because they like opening your emails, they read the email because they like reading your emails, they click on the link because they know the past when they've clicked on a link, you've recommended good things and their lives have been enriched by doing so. Then they go to a page, they take your recommendation, buy the product, and money comes into your life. That is the equivalent of like an ATM machine. It's your own personal ATM machine, and that's what your list can be if you treat them right. That's what your list can do for you if you nurture them. And so that's what we're here to actually talk about today. And that's how I want you to start looking at your list. All right, start looking at your ATM, or at your list as not only an ATM machine. And I said the best example possible, the best analogy, but I don't at the same time. In order to do that, in order to make that ATM-like scenario a reality for you, you have to not look at your people as dollars. You have to look at your people, you have to look at your list as real people that you want to add value to and that you want to consistently provide value to. And whenever you look at your people like that, and instead of like an ATM machine, and you don't treat them like an ATM machine and only send them offers every day, all day, and not really give them any value, there's a fine line there. So I want to kind of add in that caveat there. But your list can absolutely be your biggest asset. And it can also be, if you don't treat them right and you do it the wrong way and you don't pay attention to what I'm talking about today, your list can become a really expensive list of names. And I'll give you a clue here. You cannot take your email list of names to the car dealership and buy a car and pay with that list of names. They won't accept them. You can't go pay your electricity bill with a list of email addresses. Your list of email addresses and how big your list is, that's not the equivalent of the money that you make. The money is made in the relationship that you have with that list, and that know, like, and trust factor that I've been talking about. If the number of people on your list determined how much money you made, then spammers would be the richest people in the world, because you can literally go out and buy an email list of 1 million people who are quote-unquote business opportunity seekers. Well, it doesn't mean that list of 1 million people is going to open your emails or read your emails or click on any of your links, because they have no idea who you are, and that's just not the way to go about it. All right, so that's the difference that I want you to take away here and actually hear. Now, you've got your list. Now, what are some things that you can actually do to help create this scenario that I'm talking about? Well, you can create custom follow-up messages inside your autoresponder account, so that when people do join your list, they start getting email messages from you that start building that relationship, that tell them who you are and why you email, and proving to them that you do have value, and proving to them that you are entertaining, or you can be entertaining, proving to them that they need to continue opening your emails. All right. So the first thing you want to do is set up your follow-up series. And if you're going through the new Mobe traffic coaching curriculum, then working with your traffic coach, we give you share codes that you can just use and plug right into your current autoresponder, and you'll get you'll get a bunch of follow-up emails that we've already pre-written for you that will help do that. And you can just go in and edit them. All right, so follow-up emails is the first thing. And you want to make sure that your emails are full of value for your reader. And you want to use a mix of interesting facts, testimonials, persuasion, ahas, reasons to go back and purchase the thing that you're wanting them to purchase. All right, that's what the emails inside of your follow-up series need to consist of. You want to give information about who you are, stories that your reader can relate to, and also link to other valuable content that you find online. Maybe it's a motivational video, maybe it's an inspirational quote or a post that you see somewhere. It can be a variety of different things. All right. Now, they begin to look forward to, when you do this, your readers begin to look forward to reading your emails every day. And so once that happens, once you create that scenario, that's the primary objective of your follow-up series, is to create that scenario. Get them looking forward to reading your emails every day. And in order to do that, you got to put some time, effort, and energy into thinking about the first few emails that you're going to send them automatically when they join their list, when they join your list. Now, once you've done that, then another thing that you can do is start sending out broadcast emails. These are spur of the moment, real-time emails with a specific message that goes out to everyone on your list in real time. Inside these emails, you begin to recommend a product or a service that you think is going to help them achieve their goals. So you're continuously adding value, continuously sending them this quality content, but you're also letting them know that, hey, I understand what your challenge is. I also have a solution that can help you solve that challenge, and here it is. You should go check it out. And giving them different reasons to go and actually check it out and consume the material that will lead to them making a purchase. All right, they're much more willing to buy from you if they know, because they know, like, and trust you. All right, so the power is really in the list, and that's what we're really talking about here. All right, now list size, again, how many people you have on your list, that doesn't really matter. Like I said earlier, it's the quality of the list that matters. Small lists that open can be way more effective and profitable than large lists that never open. If you got 100,000 people on your list and you're getting very low open rate and not many people care about what you're saying, and you know, I've beat out people with 100, 200, 300,000 person lists. I've beat out them in affiliate marketing contests just by simply emailing my list of 6, 7, or 8,000 people because I have a better relationship and know, like, trust factor with those 6 or 8,000 people than they have with their hundreds of thousands. So it's not about the list size; it's about the relationship we have with them. Are you sick of me hearing me say that yet? So you really want to focus on taking care of your list because they are people. All right, they're people. They're not just dollars. They don't represent just dollars, but they can bring dollars into your life if you treat those people correctly. All right, so don't ever forget that. Another thing is consistency matters. All right, you want to have a follow-up series that lasts at minimum of 7 days, and you know, you can try to get to 30-day follow-up series as soon as you can. Broadcast emails should go out 2 to 3 times a week on average. Now, I realize that different people are going to have different strategies. You might be emailing your list daily. You might be emailing your list twice a day. You might be emailing your list twice a week. You might be emailing your list once a week. Just as a general rule of thumb, as a new consultant, if you want to develop and cultivate a relationship with a reasonably fast-growing list, 2 to 3 times a week is kind of the minimum that you want to do. And I would recommend starting there. You know, even though I say that's the minimum, you know, if you email 4 times a week, you're going to probably make more money. You'll have more unsubscribes, but you'll probably make more money and have a better quality list. If you email 7 days a week, same still. You're probably you'll make more money. You'll have more unsubscribes in the same breath, but then you'll also probably have a better quality list. Now, I say that with caution. We still recommend, even though that's the case, starting with 2 to 3 times a week, because you want to start with something that you absolutely know that you can commit to. If you get consistent, if you can be consistent for a month, mailing 2 to 3 times a week, and then you want to add in another day and then another day, do that. But don't set yourself up for failure right out of the gate saying, I'm going to email every single day no matter what, because the first time that you miss, it's going to make you feel a little bummed out, and if you do write an email the next day, it's not going to be as good, and it can kind of snowball into something that it's setting yourself up to failure. So don't do that. If your list doesn't hear from you regularly, though, your emails will be lost in their inbox. They'll eventually end up in their junk folder. In terms of open rates, the higher the better, obviously. So you're always looking at your open rates. You want to make them the higher, you know, as high as you can. With a new follow-up series, you know, a 7-day autoresponder series, you want to try to keep those open rates for new people above 10% per email, kind of as a minimum. As your list grows, your list open rate will get smaller. It's just kind of a nature of the way that this works. But you wanna always be paying attention to your open rates, and just remember, the higher the better. And you'll learn from sending emails and looking at your open rates. Same as your click-through rates too. Okay. So the percentage of people that are actually opening your emails, reading them, and doing the thing that you want them to do in every email, which is click on a link and go watch something or read something or consume something and possibly take another action like buy something. So open rates, the higher the better. If your list is not opening your emails, obviously, then you can't build a relationship with them. So try to have 10% open rates on your emails. Ideally, we like to always strive for 30%. Some of our lists are getting 30% open rates, and that's just you reaching more people. All right, you getting into the daily routine and daily lives of more people. That's all that boils down to. All right, so subject lines. Pay attention to your open rates and see what your list responds to. Every list is different, so you want to start the process of learning yours and really what makes them open and click. That's what we're doing here in the beginning when you start building your list. Curiosity, subject lines, numbers in subject lines, short phrases. These are all good things to try in order to increase the open rate of your emails. All right, so let me talk about where to actually find good emails to send. It says send good copy. So where do you find good emails to send? Well, one place that I would recommend you all explore is Mobe's done for you emails that are written every single day. Use those for your follow-ups and broadcasts. I do recommend personalizing them, especially the follow-ups, the initial ones. We've got an initial series, but the ongoing broadcast, absolutely plug in, use the done for you emails because they're done for you. They're there written, and it's a way for you to communicate with your list. Now, every one of them will likely need to be edited a little bit with proper links, proper product positioning. If the done for you emails is selling one product, you want to make sure that it's just updated with the correct link and all of that. But also put your own personal spin on them, and don't be afraid to insert maybe one of your emails every week as your own original content. Maybe it's an original thought. Maybe it's something that you're recommending another piece of content that you find. So maybe you're sending to somebody else's blog post or video or anything. But you're writing these broadcast emails and you're paying attention to the stats. All right. Now you customize these emails, like I said, to make them sound a little bit more like you. Or you can just use those done for you emails to get more lists or to get more ideas of things to write on. But the process here is you send broadcast emails and you pay attention to the stats. And whenever you have an email that has a high open rate or a high click-through rate or an email that generates a lot of sales, well, you got yourself a good one. So what do you do with that good one? Well, you want everybody that comes onto your list from that point forward to get that good email at some point because it works. So you go and you plug it on to the end of your follow-up series. And then you continue to broadcast out. So when you do that, your follow-up series just gets longer and longer and longer and longer, and that you're building it with a good base of emails, proven emails that get good open rates, that get click-through rates, and so on. All right, so as you can see, the money is absolutely in the list, but even a better statement than that is the money is in the relationship that you have with the list. All right, people will buy when they know, like, and trust you. When you grow your list, the money will absolutely follow. So build up your list because your lead is buying you. All right, these people that are coming into your world, they're buying you. So you need to be the one communicating with them. You need to be the one developing that relationship with them so that long term, as they progress in Mobe, as they grow their Mobe business, as they do, whatever it is that they do, you're the one building that relationship with them, and so they're going to be on your list, and it'll create that scenario that we talked about at the beginning of this webinar. All right, so that is that for this particular part of the webinar. What I'd like to do is just to encourage you to come back next week. All right, I'm going to be doing the same webinar every Thursday at the same time, so come back next week, and also encourage your downline to attend. Encourage your team members to attend this webinar with you. All right, this presentation is going to get better and better as time goes on. It's also a great way for showing your team members how to actually get their business off to a fast start, how to start developing that relationship with their email list so that they can start building that long-term asset that they want to build as well. If you teach somebody or you introduce somebody to a training that can teach them how to do that, they're going to remember that. And if they go out and do it and they experience that down the road, they're going to think of you, and that's just that's awesome. So in addition to that, I encourage you to come back and check out the other webinars that I do. Not just this one. I do a webinar every day. We do one on a different topic. So definitely come back and come back tomorrow. Come back the next day and check out these webinars that we're doing. All right. In addition to that, like I said, there's lots of webinars throughout the week. The current schedule, I'll briefly give it to you really quick. On Mondays, I do a webinar called Getting Your Mobe Business Off to a Fast Start. On Tuesdays, I do a webinar called The 3 Pillars of Your Marketing Strategy. On Wednesdays, I do a webinar called it's a Facebook hybrid strategy. All right, it's Facebook pay-per-click and bulk traffic. We combine that into a hybrid Facebook strategy. And then on Thursdays, obviously, I do this webinar. Fridays is follow-up Friday. So I talk about how to follow up properly with your list, with the customers that you create in Mobe. And I go a little bit more in depth into follow-up and expand on some of the stuff that we've talked about today. So definitely tune back in to future webinars. And if you found this webinar helpful, if you found this presentation helpful today, the biggest thing that you can do to help us out is go post in the Facebook groups. Let other people know about these webinars. Let them know that there's value being offered here, and that if they're not on the webinars, they need to come watch them, because they're going to get more value out of them. They're going to have more results in their business, and that's why we do them. So the biggest thing that you can do, if you found any value in this presentation, go tell somebody about it. I love hearing the feedback in the comment. Leave comments below. Type your feedback here. Type your value. The value that you received here. Let us know how we can make these better. And I look forward to seeing you on another webinar. So if you have additional questions you'd like me to answer, now is the time. Go ahead and type them in, and we'll get to them right now. So thank you guys again for attending. Now let's jump into some Q&A.
That was a great webinar, and I see that a lot of you have already started to post some questions, so good job. If anybody has any other questions, please go ahead and post them now. Again, my name is Shannon. I'm a traffic coach, and I'm just going to go through the questions and answer them as I see them. Kevin, in relation to the done for you emails, you're going to go ahead and get them in your back office, and your traffic coach can give you some more specifics on exactly how to get there so you can start leveraging those. Also, when they build a funnel for you, they're going to have that information, and they'll give you codes so that you can just plug it directly into your Aweber account. But you will want to, as Justin mentioned, make sure that they're customized to you using your appropriate links, etc. And when you say silver and above only, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Could you please clarify that question for me? Okay, so Barbara, for your statistics on broadcast emails in Aweber, when you go into your Aweber account, and I'm actually just going to go into mine so that I can do it live. Whenever you go into your list, every time you create a new funnel, you would create a corresponding list to go with it. And you can look at all of your statistics on that list. So you would just go into your Aweber account, make sure you choose the appropriate list at the top of the screen, and then it will tell you all the information about your subscribers. If you go into subscribers, manage subscribers, and you'll be able to go ahead and see all the information about who they are. If you want to see what the people opened, you can go into them directly and find out the open rate, etc. Oh, yes, Anne. In order to go to do the webinars, you must be registered to attend the webinars. And so what you would have to do is you use the email address that you use with Mobe, and then you'll be able to get access to them. The link will also double as a replay link, so you can also watch it back. So let's say maybe you're working with your spouse, you can certainly, if they're not available, they can watch it with you using the replay link. I don't see any other questions on the feed. Did anyone else have any other questions for me before we wrap it up? I'll just give you another minute to go ahead and type in some last minute questions here, but the content of this webinar is amazing, and the power of the follow-up and building a relationship with your buyers is extremely important, and Justin did an amazing job walking through this. Okay, so I do not see any other questions at this time, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I wish all of you a great day, and please do come back and check out some more additional webinars. They're filled with a lot of great content in getting your business started, a lot of good tips and tricks, and also your business coach, your traffic coaches will also help you in the process. So I wish you all well and good luck in your business ventures. Have a great afternoon. Take care. Bye.